dedicated to helping business owners excel in the digital world. This is The Path to Growth. Hey guys, on today's podcast, we're going to talk about branding, what exactly it means. We're going to break down what is a brand, what does it encapsulate. And I have a creative assistant back this week, Derek.
Hey everyone, glad to be back.
So, Derek, you deal with a lot of brands at RJ Media. I want you to break down what exactly is the purpose of each one of the sectors that we offer for our brands. For example, why do we take food photography? What's the point?
Yeah, so I think for me, what I see branding as is capturing what happens at your business and how do you want to present your business to your customers. So a lot of our businesses that we work with are restaurants. So what we help them with is capturing photo and even better video content of them doing what they do best, making their food, serving it to their customers.
Right.
And without that, then people that discover them online, they're not interested. They're the opposite of interested. If that presentation isn't there for them online, then it's just a total missed opportunity. So we have restaurant clients that just make these like delicious looking pizzas and entrees and with us capturing that and then marketing it's blowing them up.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, if you really think about it, what's gonna sell more? Is it gonna be a text in a newspaper that says we have delicious steaks? Or is it gonna be a mouth-watering picture in front of my face as I'm scrolling on Instagram that has just this delicious steak with the right lighting and the right, it's just bang. It's reflecting right off the steak. And I'm sitting here like, holy shit, I need one of these. That's what's going to sell. So in theory, with food photography, it helps to sell your brand. It helps define what your brand is about. What makes you unique? What makes these restaurants unique from the competition? And that's going to be their food. Someone might like your food better here, and that delicious steak now has a background story. Someone might say, wait a second, why is that steak cut like that? And it could be a unique story. Like, the first night of the restaurant, the owner cut the steak that way by accident. And ever since that, we kept it like that. That's a story. That's something that's unique. That's something that, that might make me go tell my friend because it's just a stupid fact about the restaurant. And all that stuff helps you to build your brand. I mean, look at Hard Rock Cafe. I mean, everyone knows to go in there and look at all the props on the wall. That's a talk trigger. So, I mean, anything unique. With
all those anecdotes just help tremendously.
Absolutely. It's the little things. It really is the little things that give you such a big return. It gives you a big return because you don't realize it, but people care about the little shit. They really do. So,
I could give you a good example of like this isn't our client, but like we strive to find these little features and then highlight them that a lot of the business owners don't really think about, and that could literally flip their business upside down in the best of ways. So,
right.
Do you know the band Def Leppard?
Yes.
Okay, so what do you know about them?
Pour some sugar on me. Yeah.
So you know the song?
Yes.
Do you know anything about the band members?
Not really. I wasn't a huge Def Leppard fan. I mean, they were a little before my time. So, I just hear stuff on the radio.
So it's basically, to your knowledge, Def Leppard is a band that has a good song, Pour Some Sugar.
Yeah.
Def Leppard's drummer was in a motorcycle accident and lost his left arm and relearned how to play the drums with one arm.
Holy shit.
And has a whole mechanical apparatus so that he relearned how to play the drums for the band using one arm and all these different foot pedals and stuff.
Jesus Christ, I can't even play the guitar with two hands.
Yeah.
That's
so
amazing.
So now that you know this story of triumph of how he relearned, how much more likely are you to look this up on YouTube now? And then
like I have to see that.
And then you're gonna discover more songs of theirs, and then hopefully that would convert you into a fan. So this is like an extreme story example, but like with that little anecdote is what transitions you into like actually engaging and interesting, and then maybe attending a Def Leppard concert.
Yeah. No, it's true.
So
though.
with all those,
just interesting, you know.
So what we try to do is take those story anecdotes and highlight them and leverage that into getting customers or ticket buyers or anything that our clients want.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you know, something that would not only help your business, but it also gives your business a unique perspective that you might not even know you have. You know, it could be something where in the middle of a shoot, you say to yourself, holy shit, why didn't I think that this would be something that people would ask about, you know? Yeah, I could easily see something like that happening with something as simple as food photography. I mean, who would think that would help build your brand? So, so can you think anything else that you think would help? You know, if someone came up to you and says, Derek, build my brand, like what does that mean? What other, you know, segments would you say helps build a brand? Yeah,
so in the case like we were talking about our restaurant clients earlier, like a lot of these places host events, and with each event there's a story to be told and content to be created. So like our client K Pacho holds Latin nights weekly, like Latin dance parties. Without capturing that with video content, it's just text on an Instagram post or whatever that just says Latin night is happening. Right. And that's the least amount of interesting. But if we can capture video content of people dancing and having a good time, and someone who lives down the block from K Pacho sees that, you know, then that's engaging in interest. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you're just looking at this video and you're saying to yourself, wow, I want to see what that is. Like, what is this? I want to be in that environment. This gives you the opportunity through video, because an image, you know, I could take an image anywhere. I could take a still image off of, Shutterstock or something. You could take stock video also. You could do whatever you want. But the difference with video is that you're now able to engage with the customers as well. So as you're shooting this video, you can walk up to one of the customers and say, hey, what do you think of Latin Night? And now they tell their story, and you might relate to that person's story. So now you're the customer. I got this lady who has the exact same story I do, and she might say, yeah, I came here for lessons because I wasn't a very good salsa dancer, but K Pacho has dance lessons and I learned how to salsa. And now me and my husband's relationship is even better because we go out and we do salsa every week. You don't know. And something like that could be a make or break for a customer to be like, wow, holy shit, did you know that? Like, you know, half the time you don't even know the restaurants that are down the block, like you said, that are down the block from you. You don't know what they have inside. You know, someone once told us, if the Pope's in town, but it's not in the newspaper, no one's going to know. So what is the point of having these events if you're not going to showcase them? You know, a lot of businesses, they might feel a little shy. They don't want to show them off. I don't know. I'm the opposite. If I'm proud of something, I want to show it off. I want the world to see what I have to offer because it's different. What's different? Why not just go to,
any place. Why not just go to Chipotle for lunch or dinner? Because they don't offer that. They don't offer salsa dancing and Latin night. That's that's something that makes your brand unique and stand out. So,
and a lot of times we find that like there are these awesome things that are happening at these places. Could be events, stories that have been untold, and a lot of the owners like don't even realize that is something that can really shoot their business to the top.
Yeah, 100%. This stuff, it's stuff literally in their own backyard that they say to themselves, wait a second, I didn't realize that this has this much potential.
Even something as simple as like a famous person ate at this restaurant is, might seem like that's not that important to the owner or something, but
no, but it's cool. Like Rayo's. Rayo's is famous for that. You can't reserve a seat in there because people book stuff months in advance, and there's people who have seats already reserved for them for years. I mean, that's just something known. So if you do that for your business, this is yet another talk trigger that people are going to say, hey, guess what? Jerry Springer was over at 388. Can you believe that? He was sitting next to me. I mean, that's a true story. Like literally, we were just over there, and so I'm saying to myself, that's crazy,
Yeah. It's all about talking points, yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. So another aspect of brand building that I think a lot of people overlook is the thing that really makes you a brand is everything that you showcase, from your website to the plastic cups that you might serve to the tablecloth. I mean, everything has to jive. You need the font. If I gave you a cup that had a mermaid on it or whatever creature they put on the Starbucks cup, and I gave you another cup that has a whale on it, you're going to sit there and say, that's Starbucks. The whale, you might say that's the Vineyard place. There's a
Vineyard Vines.
Vineyard Vines, yeah. But you see how you just knew that?
Yeah.
So that's a brand. I mean, that's truly a brand. So you have to make sure all of your images, you have to make sure your Facebook profile, and you have to make sure your YouTube page, everything has to match. Because the more people see the same standardization in fonts and colors and all this shit matters. People might think, it doesn't really matter. It does, because I know the font that you're going to use on a cup. I know Dunkin' Donuts' font. Everyone knows it. Everyone knows the colors. It's the purple and the orange. And
what font is it?
I don't know the name of the font, but if I see that, I don't know the name of it, but if I saw it, I could tell you it's Dunkin' Donuts. That's like, what? Anything. Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings. I mean, all these guys, you see these fonts and you know exactly what that is just by looking at it.
I think people don't realize how important it is because it's an intangible, like subconscious impact.
Right.
People don't realize the impact because it's all subconscious. It's not metrics you can review. Like there's no.
Right. Yeah. It's just like you said, it's like subconscious. Like if you're glancing really quick, you might be like, oh shit, I know what that is, and then you look away. You just know it. That's like anything. That's why it's very, very important that the stuff you may think doesn't matter, matters. Like, you have to take a step back and you have to say to yourself, what looks better? What would make me want to purchase this? Or what would make me pick this cup instead of this cup? And that's how you build your brand. And then you just dissect it from there. As long as everything matches, as far as color scheme, I mean, there's half of the posts that I see on Facebook, I mean, not on Facebook, on Instagram, when you scroll, I could tell you right off the bat who posted it based off of the font and the color. And maybe even a logo. Some people don't even need a logo because the font and the color already tells me who it is. Yeah. And audio branding is going to play a huge part in this. Because audio, I mean, think of PC Richards, right? Everyone knows that. Mm-hmm. So when you hear the PC Richards, the jingle, you know for a fact on a radio commercial, that's PC Richards. So that's going to play a huge part come 2020, 2021. Audio branding is going to be humongous. And everyone's getting into the whole vibe of audio. So if people can distinguish your brand, even while they're doing something else, that's really, really powerful. Because they know right off the bat, I didn't have to see anything. I didn't have to view anything. I could hear and say, oh shit, that's RJ Media's skill, or, that's Starbucks' skill. Who knows? And who knows what they're going to come out with. Starbucks could have, the sound of an ocean or whatever. If it's even a mermaid, I still don't know what she is, but whoever it is, it's distinguishable.
I have an interesting prediction. I think as audio becomes a norm of the amount of content consumed, becomes like more people are consuming audio content routinely. In a few years, I think what's going to happen is that large audio content creators, like businesses like Starbucks, if there's a Starbucks like podcast or Alexa skill or something, I think they're gonna start having like famous actors or actresses or influencers be their voice brand.
Of course. Look at Alexa. I downloaded the Samuel L. Jackson voiceover, and I asked him the weather. And he gives me what I expect, a smart-ass response, and I love it. He goes, oh, I'll check the weather for you outside, and that's what I want. People look for that. I mean, it's awesome. And the more people, when I had AOL back in the day, we used to download the audio. Instead of it saying, you got mail, it would be somebody getting on that saying, like Austin Powers. I downloaded Austin Powers, and he'd be like, you got mail, baby. And it was just funny. It was different. That's what was unique to Austin Powers. So if you can offer this, if you could be your own personality, people are going to hear your voice and they're going to say, wait a second, are you the lady from the Alexa skill? And they're going to know. They're going to know who you are. I mean, this is really powerful shit. This is like, it's almost like like you said, it's almost like you're a celebrity now. And that's what's going to happen. There's going to be influencers. There's tons of people with a radio type voice. I don't personally have a radio voice, but if the guy who voices Optimus Prime came on, I mean, I would download that in a heartbeat, because that was my childhood was Transformers. So stuff like that. And now you're coming into nostalgia, and nostalgia is already playing a huge role. I mean, look at Pokemon Go. Pokemon Go was huge. So if you really want to hit the millennials and the Gen Z, you literally can have Pikachu as your Alexa skill voice, Pika, and it's gonna tell you the weather. It's stuff like that, and I download it because again, that was my childhood.
Nostalgia marketing is the biggest thing.
Oh yeah,
because then we were talking about this earlier outside the podcast, but they're remastering the first Tony Hawk Pro Skater game, which was one of the biggest video games of all time, and like one of the biggest things to happen to skateboarding, period.
Right.
And like putting that out and also releasing the PlayStation 5 game console is just like, now there's a reason for 25 to 35 year olds to buy a game system they didn't even think twice about buying.
100%. Because it's like
tapping into the nostalgic.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm going to go out and buy one because I used to play PlayStation. That was my first, real modern console. I mean, obviously I had Nintendo, but my brothers and my sister had Nintendo and it got handed down to me. But like my real first game console modern was PlayStation 1. Mm-hmm. I was not an Xbox guy back in the day. So for me, that really hits home because I'm like, holy shit, this is Tony Hawk. This is, PlayStation 5. This is something that I am used to. This was my childhood again. So that's something that hits home. And if brands can just think about stuff like that for a minute, take a step back and you say to yourself, who's the market that I'm trying to target? And how can I get from point A to point B and have them give a shit about it? And that's when that unleashes your creativity. The bridge that gets you from A to B and the B mark in the market that you're trying to get to, if you could tap into that brand through nostalgia or anything that has to do with your brand, And it doesn't have to be crazy. It could be something like one of the letters, right? Look at Chick-fil-A. They just put out a marketing campaign. The letter A. They said, what does the letter A mean? I mean, how simple is that? And they thought of a campaign, and that's their brand. And you say to yourself, holy shit, there's a capital A in their brand. So you have to play on that. You guys have to play with what you have. What are the cards you're dealt? And you play on it. And guess what? If you don't have cards that are dealt for you to actually be able to play on that, then you create a brand. You create one.
Yeah, it's important to just like analyze who your customers are, your demographic, and like what is their lifestyle. I was reading a book recently, just kind of like about music industry marketing, and they were studying that Adele's fan base is like 75% like soccer moms.
Wow.
And like that was very important in figuring out how to market her next release, you know?
Absolutely. Yep.
Because you don't want to use elements that are appealing to teenagers in terms of your content creation. If you realize that the people who actually listen to your music are soccer moms, then maybe you want to do something related to Grey's Anatomy. I don't know.
Right. You know what? But you just hit the nail on the head. I mean, that's really what it is. It's
like
playing the game.
Get someone from Grey's Anatomy in the music video.
Absolutely.
Instead of that Charlie girl from TikTok. I don't know.
No, but you know what? You nailed it. It's like, what was his name? Dr. Sweetheart or whatever the hell they called him. The guy that was on Grey's Anatomy. That's what you got to do. You have to, you got to say to yourself, okay, my mom or my sister used to watch Grey's Anatomy and they always mention this guy. Maybe we should get him in the commercial or in the music video, like you said. You got to tap into this because this is what brand building is all about. Because now the people watching it are going to say, wow, they really thought of that? I mean, that's really unique. That's really something. And you don't have to have a Fortune 500 company to do this. You could do this with whatever you want. I mean, no one's saying you have to go out and hire, an actor or an actress to do a social media commercial. I mean, as a small or medium-sized business, that's going to be very difficult and very, cost a lot. So, but you have to sort of relate it to that a little bit. You just have to really be creative. But now is really the time to be creative because nostalgia is not really a trend. It doesn't go away because you could play on nostalgia anywhere. I mean, really, realistically, 30 years from now, I can play on nostalgia of Fortnite. Personally, I think I played it once and that was it. I played it for a few minutes because my niece asked me to pick up the controller and she said, Uncle Joey, can you play? And after that, I stopped playing because some kid kept building stuff and I was trying to shoot him and I got frustrated. But meet me in Call of Duty, kid.
We can guarantee, though, that like Fortnite merchandise or just Fortnite branding things will come back in 20 to 30 years.
Absolutely.
Because of how much it shifted the culture. Oh, yeah. It's so like...
They make what they say, they hit $1 billion in revenue off of downloadable content because the game went to iPhone and kids started downloading packs and shit like that. I mean, it's just unbelievable. Really, off of a mobile game that you could just keep downloading shit.
Yeah. So as stupid as this sentence is going to sound to a lot of people, but it's true. Like the game Fortnite is one of the most important one of the most important things in millions of people's lives right
Absolutely.
Now.
And that's not stupid. You know why? Because there's little things that are a million times that people will think this is so dumb. But guess what? Like you said, guess what? To the 50-year-old or 40-year-old person that says that sounds dumb, not to your kid. Your kid loves it. And you probably know they do because you see their room. They might have merchandise. You probably just came back from Toys R Us and bought a gun from Fortnite. I mean, this stuff, it's, The stuff,
Toys R Us. Now that's nostalgic because that's
KB. KB, man.
toys.
They used to answer the phone. Hi, this is KB. SmackDown 2 is now in stock. How can I help you? And I swear to God, I was so excited that day as a kid. I was like, oh my God, what did you just say? Because that was it. We couldn't check the internet.
Yeah.
That shit, we didn't have inventory online. We had to call up and the lady would tell us if it's in stock or not. And I had to rush there. I had to tell my mom, come on, we got to go rush there. So, like you said, all this stuff, all this crap and collectibles and toys and shit, it's stuff like that you look at your brand and say, wow, I want to do that. I want to be someone's nostalgia. And it's all about what your brand can deliver. What can your brand do different that somebody can say you created that nostalgia? You know, Fortnite wasn't a brand. Someone made it a brand. Like, I would sit here and say, Fortnite, what the hell is that? And somebody, you know, a lot of people were like, oh, I don't think this was the right name for my brand. Who gives a shit? Whatever you do for it, that's what makes your brand. Kids wouldn't have cared if it was called, you know, Pen Cap. Seriously, I mean, think about Pogs. What the hell is a Pog? And I used to collect the shit out of those. I had the Pogs, I had the huge disc, and we'd play it.
That's before my time.
Oh my, Derek, Jesus, the little discs. You don't remember Pogs? Oh my God,
Did they pop?
Jacks. They were two Jacks.
Jacks. I don't think I ever put. Is that the thing with the spikes? Right? I never really.
You throw a thing up, yeah.
Nah, I wasn't a big Jacks guy.
What about Kongi?
I played Kongies.
Never.
Yeah.
No. See, that's something I see. I don't know that, but you know.
Koreans.
No, I never played that. No, but like, you know what? Everyone's always worried about the name. Like, oh, I don't know if we should do this. I don't know if just shut up and start putting out stuff, and that's going to be the name. That's it.
Yeah, the name is not as nearly important as the
really,
as the branding.
It's not. It's so not. It's crazy. You know. So I mean, to sort of wrap things up on branding, we went way over our time at branding. I mean, really, I said I wanted to make this a nice 15-minute short segment, but we got into nostalgia, you know? But that goes to show you, it roped us back in. It always does. So to conclude with branding, Derek, if you have anything else to add, now would be the time, or forever hold your peace.
I don't think I do.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's branding. Branding is just, what do you want to show off to your customers? What do you want to show off to potential clients? How are you going to show that off? Okay. And what's going to make you unique? It's very simple. I mean, it's not a huge process, you know, you have the medium right now, there's 3 mediums: audio, video, images. It's very simple. And all we have to do is put those pieces together with your unique story, and that's a brand. People will start to follow content. Jersey Shore is a brand because these actors, they were kids at the time. They were kids, and they told their each individual story. You learned about who, you knew who this guy Paulie D was, or Snooki. I mean, these guys are now brands, and they did that because they chose video as a medium. And they told their story on it. And MTV, I mean, what better? That was the best demographic. So this is how you storytell. There's no reason why your business can't do that. If you have characters that are similar, then, show them off through video, and people will see that and say, oh shit, I know who you are. You're the kid from that video. And, you're funny, and you say stuff like that. I mean, this is brand building. Build characters, build emotion in people. And that's what you're going to be remembered for. You're going to be remembered for what you show people through these mediums. So that about wraps it up. And until next time, guys, if you can, I will have links, for you to visit us, visit our website, follow us on social media. Yeah, that's about it. So until next time. If you feel like this has brought you some value, please join our community by texting podcast to 516-447-5332.